There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Calling out people who willing to serve. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers giving us here and the promise of them. The work of my life without fear.
A lyrical health.
Master.
Cleverly, so I you. I can't ask it if you been you. Say my journey, Tina can ask my jamo. And yes, I know money. The more I get you. And you love the more I get you.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money. And I said ya to money. And I couldn't play ya to money. And I could do ya to money. And I didn't ya to money. And I said ya to money. And I couldn't play ya to money. And I could do ya to money. Another forget now ya to money. That's the TV. Another forget now. Toss you walk on my ya to money. Yeah. Oh.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Calling out people who willing to serve. The flesh that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the promise from best. The work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, the San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Maggie B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Indeed, Sktv, we are the best in Liberia. Sktv, we are the best in Africa. Sktv, we are the best around the world, folks. What a way to go. A pleasant good evening, good morning, better say good afternoon to all of you. Those of you who have maybe a little time different from our end here in Liberia. I guess there are a lot of you out there outside of Liberia who have a little time different. But again, it's good to go. Today is the 22nd day in the month of April. For a matter of fact, we have how many more days to go in April? We have 8 more days, and we'll be entering into my birthday, the 1st of May. For a matter of fact, those of you who already sometimes you get used to some of these days, I want to say yes to all of you, but it's not easy. God be God. God is on our side. We good to go. We are okay, and we have to manage with the situation because energy is something that is the ability to do work. Let me just say in the simplest form. And most of our businesses, most of our Liberian businesses, they are all now closing gradually day by day. Sometimes when you go to some of these shops, you see the frustration on the faces of our people. Our people, they are very, very frustrated with the way the energy is moving gradually on a very slow pace. But again, folks, I'm Johnson Mayborn Kula, the pre-birthday man. For a matter of fact, May 1 is right around the corner. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Help us share the show to those of you who are watching. Today is the 22nd day in the month of April. For a matter of fact, so many things happening in our nation capital, Monrovia, especially in Liberia. The issue of land wahala is still ongoing. Yes, Binta Belete, our iron lady, she will also give us some of the I call it update. I see the CMC somewhat around, and they are doing marvelous jobs. Also, we'll be getting, in fact, we'll be getting some update from their end. And also, yes, so the land wahala is deepening, demolition still ongoing. People are asking me, bon, how come we haven't seen this kind of demolition exercise that are ongoing in this region? What's going on? Is there the payback to our people after voting for this region? Well, I don't know. Don't put me in a situation that I can easily handle because this is I don't know what you may call it, but this is seriously economic situation is confusing. Yeah, let me just say in the simple form, it's confusing to our people out there that I know this is not what you voted for. I know this is not what you wanted. I know this is not the kind of life that you want to live or to see yourself going through. But again, at the end of the day, people have their own way of handling situation. Sometimes when you vote for people, in fact, even in the religious setting, you have the pastor or the imam. He said, that ain't what you want. That ain't what we want. And so you put that one there. After a few months, after a few years, that one start to show their colors, how they live, the kind of attitude they have in them. Then you feel that life is not just worth living. But matter gay, all of you, let me say good evening to all of you. My good friend and brother Robert Fasulu Jackley, May 20th son. But let me be frank. Someone is owning the entire capital. Can you imagine? Someone is owning capital bypass. You know, for a matter of fact, I live, in fact, all of my life, I live right there in the capital bypass for the past 14 years. Let me just say this to all of you. Yeah, I spent 14 years in district number 8, but then it was district number 2, and the transition to district number 8. I spent all of my life there, right there. Well, again, at the end of the day, now someone is owning the entire place. Someone. Well, how come? How come during the past regime and the other regime, we haven't heard anything about people owning and claiming all the properties, in fact, taking complete possessions of the property until now? What's going on? What is the secret? Some of you got to tell us what is the secret, but all in our people, we have so many things to talk about. On a very serious note, we have the $79 billion Liberian dollars to also talk about. I'll be printed from now on up to 2030. And the 16 additional seats that will be added also onto, in fact, our current lawmakers, who they will be receiving their vehicles or their $45,000 car, hopefully by next year. So that means when we have 16 added, it will be 89, and 89 of them will be giving them 45,000 vehicle every year, and that's good. That pay for the politicians. You can say anything you want to say to some of us. Let's pay for the life of this politician, because that's all we can do for ourselves as a country. Yes. And the Pope said it. All of us, we run from here, we leave from here, we go to the Western world, we won't go to all of the better school. We leave our own. We abandon our own students. Look, I think soup got to be giving people who now even in UL space to join the soup, because some of us want to join soup. Yes, I'm elected join soup. Soup. If you're listening to me now, I think you got to open door for people who are not even part of you, or maybe that your school there, to be part of soup. Because from what the Pope said, that's just what some of us have been thinking. You take students from here every day, they're giving students scholarship, they give us scholarship, they send out Rwanda. Some of our brothers in Rwanda, they're questioning people on the internet. Look at you want it. You leave where you go to Rwanda, you question someone. You don't even get sense. Yes, I will say that today. And they show moving forward. Some of us will be, look, the way our deacon started, my deacon. Me, I am the Baptist chat room. The way our deacon started, how we end it. And we move. We will come here with parables. They first get writing from where? In a parable, we will come here with so many parables every time we come on the show. Because the politicians is like they're here for fun. Yes. So you go ahead, share the show, you help us share the show, don't mind. We just started. So many things that we'll delve into. And I know some of you, you will not like us. In fact, you will even unfriend us. Even you will even go. Look, I don't even get up for most of my brothers and sisters, some of my friends out there who are making 125, who insulting some of us every day on the internet. If you are careful, you don't even know, sir. People who some of us, we used to eat together. We used to be a help to most of them. Today, they in government, they're making 125. When you want to tell, if someone can tell me something, I will not even listen to you because I know when you are struggling how to survive. People go to school, nothing to do, no that job, no there. Some of them they crying, even up to now as we speak, they still crying. But anyway, that's the show. Monk will soon join us, Mr. Dishu, the rest of the other team. They will soon join us very, very soon. It is indeed frustrating. Let me be frank. Don't allow any politician to lie to you, young people. These politicians, including my own deacon, they are all liars. I'm saying it today. They can lie. Yes. Where are the promises that the deacon made yesterday? Where are the promises? Where everything that he said yesterday, including even the data, the scratch card, the harmonization, everything. Yes, boss. I know Josiah, what kind of joker? That one now intimidating people. That people should sign an agreement. Now you'll be, these are same people that will be talking about Firestone tomorrow. Where are the Firestone people? Firestone say, they still do anything to our people. But you are intimidating your own people. You want to put them into cage where you control them. Yeah, man. Look, my blood can be body. Let me be frank to you. Let me confess to most of you today. My blood can really ball. Because when we not straighten this system like this, tomorrow our children will suffer from this kind of thing. How come people yesterday, 50 years ago, to the process claiming land? It ain't normal. Some of you, it ain't normal. Say that. Let's share the show, yeah. Yeah, let's share the show. Yeah, man. It ain't normal. People live somewhere for more than 30, 40, 50 years. Then somebody come from somewhere, they say the former Chief Justice, family member claiming land. Just say that. And you want bad politicians, just say that every politician continue to abuse you, to anything that they want to do to you. How come a deacon not talking for the people? The same deacon yesterday who said that the Liberian people, they are being abused, they are being abandoned, and nobody to talk for them. How come to them a deacon not talking? And people taking the people land, demolishing people's homes, making them homeless. And it's okay. That's what we voted for, to make the deacon life better. That's what we voted for. Even entertainment. My own deacon son, who also once upon a time was musician. Today, where is he today? He can hear anything from that one anymore. Nothing can hear from him. You can even, well, anyway, let me see, man. Yeah, let me see. You help us to show people. Yeah, you help us, please. Where's Mark? Okay, Mr. Dishu over there. Yeah, Mr. Dishu, thank you. Let me see. Yeah, it's not. Mr. Dishu, good evening. What's up, everything?
Good evening, Melbourne, and good evening to the listening public. We are here to try to give our best information to the Liberian people so they'll be able to decide for themselves for the near future. So I'll be waiting to follow up the agenda for the day, and I hope we have more time because a lot of things to be discussed. We'll wait for the other panelists, and so we'll be able to go on. Thank you.
Wonderful. Mr. Dishu, yesterday you were not here with us. We have a lot of things to talk about. We have the 79 Liberian dollars, in fact, 79 billion Liberian dollars, and we have the 16 additional seats that will be added. Apart from that, we also have the economy. Let me refrain from me. I like to talk about the bread and butter issue because these are things that normally affect our people. If you go to the various schools, nobody is going to pick and choose to know which party you're from or who you support or who you not support. The school fees remain stable. They will tell you, even if they're gala day, if there are other activities, they're not going to pick and choose among the children to say the other child support the government or the other child support the other opposition or the other child support no positions. And so these are things that we'll be looking at, Mr. Dishu, as to where are we as people, because the politicians continue to play the games, and most of our people, especially a few of our brothers and sisters, who claim that maybe they are quote-unquote educated, they think that the politicians are doing well, are doing better, but at the end of the day, they are not contributing anything back home to their own people. They're not getting nothing. Nothing they give them back. Everything still remain poor. Even their lives is not even improving, because if you're making 125, or better still 150 Mr. Tissue, how much you will eat per day, or how much are you going to carry, or maybe the transportation and everything, and how much is going to lead that for you to even save, or in fact for you to even develop your life. So at the end of the day, it's like you are working for the same politicians who continue to put you into higher poverty, even though their salaries are legalized, or in fact, someone will say legal corruption, because the Tier 1 Congress will say they do these things, they put their salaries, they got 15,000, 10,000, 12,000, and at the end of the day, they say yes, that's what they make, even though it's by law. But our people have been seen as one of the struggling people. So these are things that will be chipping in. But yesterday you were not here. I don't know what some of the things that are on your mind quickly before welcome Mark. Mark is already here with us. But what are some of the things that caught your attention yesterday?
Well, the discussion yesterday, I could not stay on to watch the balance part of it, but I think it was very interesting. Still, Yeke call about case is still being discussed up there today. The changing of the bringing in rather the printing of the new currency and coins, the reason why they want to do it, and yeah, other things that I think that I didn't get clear, but I will follow up today to be able to contribute to the discussion.
Hello, Mr. Tissue. Okay, thank you, Mr. Tissue. I told you, yeah, even though you said I follow your follow up. But Mark, good evening, my dear brother. Good afternoon. What's up, everything?
Well, not much. Another day to be here. I think I'm going to be here for the rest of the week, hopefully until Friday. Yeah, but I'm doing great. Other than that, nothing much. I'm just reading some local dailies, following up some videos from hearings, especially the printing of the new banknotes. Looking at some of the video from the Joseph Boaga comments about diaspora being dogs. That's exactly what he meant by our people. I don't know. We all process information differently. When people speak, you don't just take word or sentence and make a doctrine of it. You got to understand context. When you get the context from which your person speak, then you will know exactly what they mean to say. That's why when there is a public, whether it's president giving State of the Union, I don't watch the TV, because I like to read the transcript. The transcript, when you get it, almost like somebody giving you a speech at a graduation. You need to understand the message, the theme, or the message you want to transfer to the listening audience. Then when you understand the message, then you can put the pieces together as to the sentences that make up that entire message. And that's what he meant to say, but people will try to codify and say, oh, he was speaking figuratively, he was speaking in parable. The president made a statement. He said, what Joseph Boaga meant to say that when you're a diaspora Liberian, you're now Liberian. So he's now working for you. He's working for the people in Liberia. And when he's working for the people in Liberia, he will not accept your criticism. Now, what he said, you are dogs. That's what he said. They don't live here. We live here. We know what we want for our people. I mean, like, how easy can it be? It's not only about the dog parable. It's all about the context from which he speaks. He was literally saying, if you are Liberian in the diaspora, you are not counted. And he's not working for you. He's not accountable to you. That's why he used the direct phrase. They don't live here. We live here. We know what we want for our people. So technically, if you are outside the borders of Liberia, you are a dog. That's just what he meant to say. Easy, plain, simple. But anyway, that's a story for another day, another talking point. But that's exactly what he meant in terms of context. So
wow, I don't know whether it's coming from my end, Monk, but you are very, very coming in. I don't know. I think maybe it's coming from me because I'm seeing.
Yeah, it should be from you.
It's very, very, yeah, it's disturbing.
You hear me?
Yes, but you're coming in more. Yes, still off. But again, folks, yeah. So Monk is saying in short that the president of my own Deacon Joseph Yema Boaka's statement or his parable, those of you who want to paraphrase, you want to use all of the adjective, or better say you want to use all of the maybe you say, oh, it's part of literature and everything back to back. But I don't think one more is saying sure. Another Mark is back. Another Mark. Then yeah, from you a little bit maybe if you are okay. But I think the problem is coming from me. Mark,
you getting me?
Wow. I don't know if you people getting Monk or you people getting me. Well, then that's it.
I'm hearing you loud and clear. I don't know about you.
I'm not getting Monk anymore. Even though first you were coming a little bit faint, but then it's completely off, or we're not getting. But Mr. Tissue, are you okay?
Are you getting me? Hello?
Yes, Mong, I hear you. Maybe.
I'm getting. Yeah, I'm getting Mr. Tissue. Now, I'm not getting. I don't know what happened, but
I'm getting Mr. Tissue loud and clear. I'm getting.
I'm hearing Mong loud and clear.
I'm
also.
not getting you now, Monk. Go ahead.
Okay.
You getting me loud and clear? I'm okay.
Yes. I'm at least you are more better than. In fact,
I don't know where I stopped before that technical issue happened, but just
yes, I think you have to stop to the president, the statement.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's where I was. I say I was just reading through some random comments about what the president said. It got people that interpreted it both ways, and words are very powerful. That's why when you do literature or English, they teach you connotative and denotative meaning of words. You don't just take one word and make a context out of it. You got to understand from where people speak. You got to understand the entirety of that speech, the message they are trying to drive through. Then it's easier to understand the word. I can tell you, Mabel, don't be stupid. Three words, don't be stupid. It could be interpreted as an insult. It could be interpreted as an advice. The same word, the same sentence without changing a single word. What Joseph Boaga meant to say, he made a direct statement. He qualified his sentence or his statement. But the context from which he speaks, Joseph Boaga interpretation of people in the diaspora, you are not a Liberian once you are outside the boundaries of Liberia. That he doesn't work for you. He's not accountable to you because you don't live there. You don't go through the challenges that the people on the ground goes through. So when he's working, when he's making decisions on behalf of the country, you are not counted. That's what he said. They don't live here. We live here. We know what our people want. That's what he said before making the parable. So technically what he intends to say, once you are not in Liberia physically, you are a dog because he's not accountable to you. Why you want to quantify his word? That's exactly what he said. That's the context from which he spoke. So the people who are talking about parable, like you got to be a special kind of a fool to try to misinterpret. The man said the premise before he could make the parable. The parable was just meant to support the premise that he laid initially. So why I don't understand how people, I know because you want to play politics, they can put something on the billboard and they cannot recognize it. That's what Joseph Boaga meant to say. People in the diaspora are dogs. He doesn't work for you. He's not accountable for you. You are not the one that go to the day-to-day activity, or challenging the Liberian people are faced with because you are in some other country. So he's not accountable to you. So I just want to stop on that. So and people
yes,
making it sound like, come on.
Yeah, so let me agree with you 100%. There were some of us, these are kind of more thinking that some of us that we have, that's there where we come from with our post, with our disagreement with the president's statement, and some of our, senior comrades, some of our senior colleagues, these are normal parables. No! The president just woke up and made the parables. But Mr. Tissue will come up quickly. Mr. Tissue, let me just agree with Mark, because some of us we posted that we the one that even started to even highlight some of these things to say no. Our decom, I think the parable was too harsh, and the parable you already said that in fact you already identified certain group of people. That was wrong. That's absolutely wrong.
Mabon, the man never stated the parable in isolation. The man laid the premise for the parable.
Exactly.
The parable was there to solidify the premise that he made. That's why I just read exactly what he said word for word. The people that are criticizing don't live here. We live here. We know what our people want, and then followed by the parable. So why is that arguable?
But Mark, even to that former president, I can say recall once upon a time when he said that Liberians are enemy of the state. What happened? We criticized that statement.
Oh, yeah.
We said that was wrong. It's not because people are criticizing or maybe bringing out all of the ills, then you want to call them enemy of the state. That was bad. Well, you want us to say that, or maybe to be here today and be thinking that yes, the president, he had the wisdom, so he's using wisdom. So
no, maybe the thing here is in Liberia. I tell people the diaspora criticize the most because when you live in the diaspora, you see things from a different perspective. When you're in Liberia, you think what you are going through is normal. So if you go back even before the coup or the 1980 coming up to the 90s, most of the rejection in terms of Liberia politics will come from people in the diaspora. Because I believe people in the diaspora, they always want better for their country, most especially when they're exposed to another society and see how people do things. They think they can just go and implement it in Liberia. That's where the friction can come from. And in Liberia, the new trend is whenever there is a problem, shift the blame to the people in the diaspora. What I always say, the people in the diaspora to bring war to the country. No, they don't bring war. Your government is the one that will initiate war. People just want the best for their country. If you can remember, going back to Madam Saliva administration, every time there was a problem, who they blame? Madam Saliva brought people from America. She brought her so-called American people, the expert. So I used to ask them, when you look at the entire government, how many in terms of percentage came from the diaspora? Less than 5%. All the lawmakers that were in Liberia never came from the diaspora. The people that were ministers and deputy ministers in Liberia were from the diaspora. But guess what? Whenever there was a problem, who they shift the blame on? Oh, she brought people from America. Because that's what they see. And that's have been continuing for a very long time. Whenever you come from the diaspora, no, they want to paint you as the enemy of the state, that you are not part of us. That's why they even went as far as trying to implement a draconian law that will exempt diaspora Liberia. So you think Joseph Boakai spoke out of isolation? No, he knows exactly what he's saying, because that's the current trend in Liberia. When you are a diaspora Liberian, you are enemy to the state. You are the people that want to bring war. Whenever there is corruption, they shift the blame. Even though diaspora make up less than 3 or 4% of the government, the rest of them were born and bred over there. But that's the trend, because guess what? Politically, it's rewarding. When you find an enemy, you pit one people against another, then somehow you win the political prize. That's exactly what he meant to say.
But more quickly, before Mr. Tishu come on, let me ask you this question. And in fact, the same question will go to Mr. Tishu. How come up to now?
Mr. Tishu Friday, I will come in later because I just want talking. I can talk again.
All right. No, but then let Mr. Tishu go ahead, because I will ask the question later after his take on the issue. Mr. Tishu, what say you with the president parable? The parable now spark up a lot of debates in the corridor. Even if you go back to Lily, what you may call that. Well, I'll get the name correct and I will come back to you, Mr. Tishu. But go ahead.
Well, just like what Monk said, and what all the viewers all around, even in diaspora, they're talking about the comment made by the president. I think for his age, I think I cannot use the word immature, but I would say that he spoke with vengeance. I think the president is mad. The president having problem. And one question being asked, within that short space of time, he have not thought about giving out the right answer, and he gave cheek. And the cheeks have been expressed in different ways by different kind of people, because his people are trying to back it. They say it's metaphor or something like that. But I believe he spoke from his heart. He was vexed, and he gave his answer, and that answer came from his heart. So twisting it to the Liberian people, I don't think it's serving right. I think the president needs to try to adapt himself with the problems around him. He realized that the problem is huge, and he don't have the government to take control of the problems of the people. So they will always be able to divide it in a way that the citizen will not think about themselves, but they will think about what has been given to them to talk about. He talked about God not making you land. All the rhetoric and stuff like that has meaning. And all the time that he answered the questions, he was not in a good mood. He was in a bad mood. And you cannot present yourself to your people being elected as a head to have that kind of character, that they will characterize you as someone who only think about themselves once being elected, and don't think about them who elected him. So there's a serious, serious problem, and the backing up of the new money they want to introduce. I heard the confirmation.
We'll go,
Over.
we'll go to that. We'll go to that, Mr.
Okay.
Bishop. But let me just ask you
Okay.
this question, a follow-up question to you and Mark. With everything that been said by our president Mandikon, and at the end of the day, you people are the one that always put a hand beyond Liberia, beyond our elections, beyond our politicians. Like yesterday, I said that most of them, they leave from here, they go on outside, they love it. You people give them all of these things. When they come here, they use these things as a way of getting some political appreciation or so forth, you may call. But yes, since I think on Monday, you people haven't yet responded to the president in general. You people, even though you people responding separately, and I don't think that's unity. So what does speak to? Is there a serious division between you people from the diaspora, that you people also are only beyond only politicians, or you people are divided more? Because this is serious, let's be frank, to look at certain group of people. This thing happened in Rwanda, where once upon a time, there were other group of tribes that were calling other group of courageous, and that was bad. We have now seen the same trend in the name of parable. When will you people come out to speak in general, or maybe to speak as a unit? How can you people are more divided than maybe united? Mark and Mr. Dishu, that's my observation from all of the happening. Because this is not the first time. Then the second time, first, the president said he was praying so that Donald Trump can deport all of you. He had a friend, Donald Trump. And today again, he calling you people that you people shouldn't talk, or we shouldn't mind the barking dogs here and there.
Maybe we all come from a different background, even though we are in the diaspora. The only thing we share in common is the fact that we are beyond the boundaries of Liberia. There got some people in Canada, some people in Norway, the vast majority of Liberians, I would say, in the US, somebody in Europe, like Mr. Dishu and others. I don't expect us to support one political party because we got our own way of doing things as people in the culture. My only thing here is, like I said, the president laid a premise before qualifying that premise with the dog comment. You know, I always say on the show, life is very complicated, and based on where you find yourself in life, that's why we determine how you think into the future. The reason they hate people in the diaspora, when you live in the diaspora, they got something called the hierarchy of need. Based on your need, it determines how you plan for the future. The reason people don't participate in politics in Liberia, or they don't follow the day-to-day activity, because of the economic condition. Somebody goes to bed, he's sleeping, how he will eat the next day, no health care, no food for his children, no school fee. He's not going to wake up from bed and pay attention to what the government is doing. And unfortunately, our public officials love those kind of people because they can do things and get away. The people that usually pay attention the most are people in the diaspora. And the single reason, from my own observation, is the fact that when you live in the diaspora or in an industrialized country, you don't worry about little things. Things like healthcare, but where you get your food, how your children will go to school, everything is provided. So when you are in the diaspora, you are literally thinking long term. How can I save money? How can I build a house? How can I buy the land? How can I make an investment? 20 years from now, what my country will be like? Is my country somewhere I can make investment in? That's what people in the diaspora think. So for that reason, they religiously follow the political activity, and they are most likely to criticize things happening in the country because of their exposure. That's something Joseph Barker won't like to hear. That's why he's referring to people in the diaspora as not being Liberian. Because, take for example, you think a guy like me will celebrate the central bank printing another, how they call it, $78 billion? Because I know it's going to weaken the currency. Why you think they want to increase the denomination from 1,000 Liberian to 2,000? Because the money is going to be useless and worthless. That's going to put more pressure on the local Liberian. But that's something Mawata cannot understand. She cannot pay attention to. That's something the Zogo or the poor men are pushing wheelbarrow will not understand. But people in the diaspora know what it means. So Joseph Parker don't want us criticizing him. He doesn't want higher standard. He doesn't want people hold him to account. He wants to be in a country where everything, when he bring one machine and they walk on the drum on the street. So for that reason, the people in the diaspora, we become the enemy. Like I said, that's why he was literally saying, no matter who can try to quantify his word, to put a spin on it, saying it was just some random parable, that's a lie. Joseph Boaga meant to say he does not work for people in the diaspora. And the people in the diaspora cannot understand the problem of everyday Liberians. So he listening to dogs that are barking. He only listens to people from Liberia because he knows the vast majority of them are not paying attention. Because this year, I tell you what, let me stop there. You know, I hate talking for too long.
No, Mom, but you struck some salient point, you know. You need it on the head. The mindset of the people is like they are living in slavery, you know. They have been controlled by the masters. Those people that give them that they want cup of rice or they $5 and $10. They feel important. Don't leave it out. They feel important. You know, a minister come out and shake your hand, your friend there looking, and he gave you $5. That's the kind of society we have right now. Now, maybe one point, while we in the diaspora, while we can unite, is very, very good question. What I would say, in my opinion, is that we all have diverse ideas, and most of us follow the different parties within Liberia. Only very few of us are independent. And when these things happen, everybody tries to take a side. And in taking sides, the independent cannot override those who already have things set up like radio station or podcast or whatever media outlet that they have. They have authority over those. So we, the independent, we only have the very few ones like Sktv and other ones that we can come and express ourselves. So to bring that unified idea together is always hard because we don't have one central point that we can share together and commit ourselves to be able to come up with outcomes that will be very effective. So we have a serious problem. The pattern that we have been talking about, the pattern is still going on. Shutting the mouths of oppositions and dissent and other people that try to bring some light to the Liberian people, they want to shut them down. They're shutting down the ones that in Liberia itself, and they want to start up with the ones that are in the diaspora. Because such a kind of comment, I believe, is setting another stage for us who in the diaspora that will not be able to talk because they're letting the people know now that whatever we talk is BS. And what they're doing there is what is happening. So the people should not listen to us. So you know right now is a strategy that has been planned, started off with what the president said. And I think they're going to strive on that. And I think we should start to talk about it because it's coming to hit us and will hit us hard in the sense that the different independent media thing will have problems. I was listening to OKFM yesterday morning when was it yesterday before yesterday when Clarence Jackson was making a comment about the sedition about Jefferson Koji going to the American embassy to present a statement there. And while he was talking about the government have rebutted the statement, and he read the government own, but he said he did not have what Koji had written. So somebody sent it to him. When he read that to the public, Donald Sano, the Deputy Minister for Information, sent in a message to him and telling him that, the insult that he rimmed on Clarence didn't want to put it out, but I myself, I will not put it out, but I want people to go back and listen to that recording that he insulted Clarence in a manner that I don't believe that a journalist was going to do to his next partner, because that's an independent body that is not controlled by the government.
All right,
Maybe
thank you.
let me just follow up.
Yes. So
You know,
yeah, so Monk, before you come in, Monk, the
okay.
reason why I'm asking, or they ask this question, Monk, because from all indications, you people are the one. In fact, you people are the backbone for our Liberia economy. Let me just say in a very simplest form. The diaspora Liberians who are outside of Liberia, their contribution in the country is overwhelmed that we can easily overlook. So for me, I don't know whether there's unity. The reason why I also ask the question is because we have most of you people in the government. We have some of you who are supporters of the government. You know, sometimes, Monk, it's frustrating, it's shameful, it's embarrassing that you will see people who are not even into any kind of poverty. Mind you, though, Liberia is into serious urgent poverty. And people who live outside of Liberia, especially in the diaspora in the US, Europe, Canada, or actually they are not part of any kind of poverty. They can easily survive, they can easily make money, and they can easily become that kind of person they want in life. But to see them also laying down before the king, because now the month said we are now having a king. The as you may call district number 10 and spell district number 10 representative. You can call about posted some photo today that people are asking him to go and kneel down before Joseph Boakai. So that means we're now having a king. That people should go out there and lay before the king so he can survive. More for me, I'm disappointed in most of you people from Hassan. Let me be frank. This is not a joke. I've been following, I've been observing a lot of you. Only few of you who are independent, even which way it goes, you will stand up and say, no, this is not the kind of country we want. We want better Liberia. But most of you out there who are still depending on government, who think that the only way forward is to survive through government and be able to come back and join the struggling Liberians and also praise the government. So that's why I'm asking these questions as to why you people hailing, why your integrity, how come you guys are also falling prey to the same thing that Liberians are also going through. But go ahead.
Like I said, you don't expect us all to be the same. In this country, the federal workforce is less than 3% of the population. More than 97% of Americans work in the private sector. Nobody here depends on government job. In Liberia, government job is a culture. So they got some people, even if they were fortunate enough to come here, they still want to go back to work in government, no matter what. They will do anything and everything because that's how they were grown. That's the culture they grew into. So you can eradicate that. One thing here is the reason I found that statement to be very offensive. Maybe someone need to educate Joseph Boakai and inform him about diaspora contribution, like you said. We are 1/5 of the GDP of Liberia. The diaspora remittances per year is the same as the entire national budget. Can you imagine that? Including the royalties that concessioners pay into the state cover, right? Yesterday I was talking. I think AB even said follow up. The port when you go to training economics, last year we spent, I think it was $820 million diaspora remittances. The most were in the month of December, $84 million in a single year. Why do you think that happened? Because the Christmas comes in December. It's nothing else. People got to send money, medical bill, feeding, school fee, emergency transaction. Joseph Boakai, the diaspora do more than what you can even think about that you will even be able to do. So, like I said, the president never spoke in isolation. He knew exactly who he was targeting. Melbourne, why do you think diaspora participating in election in Africa has become a new normal? The last time I checked, it was 16 countries. Guinea, of all people, did it. Senegal, or Gambia, or Malawi, Kenya, everybody in the diaspora voting. We are more than 500,000 Liberians that live outside of Liberia. When was the last time you heard your lawmaker saying, okay, if the diaspora is making this more contribution to the country, why we cannot put in a process where it will be able to participate in the decision making? Because they don't want people from the diaspora participating. They want blind people. They want people that can control. They want people that will kiss the ring. And they are intimidated by diaspora Liberian because they believe we follow training issue. We know what's happening in the country. We get certain standards that we set, and they cannot meet those standards. So politically, when you involve the diaspora, it takes away power from them. And Joseph Boakai is one of those that believe in that. That's why he quantified that statement by saying they don't live here. We know what our people want. Who is your people? So I'm not your people because I'm in the diaspora. That's exactly what he meant to say. But AB, let me tell you what to you, my brother. I'll stop there.
AB? Well, I don't know. AB? All right.
Well, AB probably trying to come on,
So
but
we're having some issue. We're going to but Mark, we getting some later news. I don't know whether you saw that video. I think the actually may call the 7-Eleven.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
I told him about
Okay, well, if you just want to your close on the
Yes,
president statement, then we'll move on now with the border issue. We're still getting a lot of reports from
right.
7-Eleven about their issue too. Then we'll also chip in on that and move on. Go ahead.
Man, Mong, and then my dear brother Adishio. And of course, good evening and good afternoon to the followers. So, guys, they said, show me your friend and I will tell you who you are. You know, there is a trend here for the president of the Republic of Liberia, historically. People that have known this man, that have interacted with him, they said things about him during the war, during the before the election, not even the 2023 election, long back in the 2017 election. They stated who Mr. Bouakai was. And people disputed him. And Mr. Bouakai is completely living up to those statements that were made about him. Case in point, Mr. Bronsky. Mr. Bronsky emphatically told you that Joseph Bouakai is a divisive man. He didn't sugarcoat it. The videos are there. He said, I know Joe. He is a divisive man and he's not a good man. Mr. Bronsky, that is one of my words. Okay? And Mr. Bouakai left and went in Foya, his hometown, in the church, and told the people there that he thanked God that the Protestant church or the Presbyterian church or whatever did not allow Islam to settle down in Foya. He stated that in the church. Nobody put it in his mouth. Mr. Bouakai stated that. And everything that now that he's president, he's stating them. Trust me, I'd never heard those things in my life. For even a man to even think to come look at destitute people that their home was being demolished and tell them that, oh, God not making new land. Mayborn, what part of the world that you know that the Almighty God is creating new land? If you not be so sarcastic and be insensitive to the plight of the people, to tell them that kind of word, it's like you adding insult to injury. You're not even you're not being sympathetic to their plight. Say, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm a people. XYZ is happening, even if it's the right of anybody. But the timing of issue maybe matters. But this president is moving on a bit there with those kind of insensitivity continuously. To look at people, and even I don't care whether it's paradoxical or whether it's figurative or whatever it is. But the fact that you're going to see when you're moving and dogs are somewhere, they're barking at you. If you decide to stone them, you will not reach to where you want to go. They are not here. So they don't know what are we going through. Who are they? We the Liberians are also of Liberia. So for somebody to come be interpreted, oh, you know, they can call the press a watchdog and all that kind of thing. Watchdog is different from dog. Full stop. And this president, you don't even the United States are made more. The people that are in politics, they got something they call gaffe. Sometimes the president can say something and people can't clean it up. But these people are doubling down. They explain to you what their president's trying to say. They're not just say, oh, you know what, the president misspoke or you know it was a gaffe or something, just to save a political face. But no, they would double down on those things. Don't look at people and call them dogs, equate them to a scenario like that. You don't do that, especially for his age. This is not a youthful man to say he don't know the meaning of some of those kind of expressions. This is a man that lived here around for 80-something years. And he continually stating those things to the Liberians. He's telling you that I'm entitled to whatever I'm supposed to say here, and you must accept it. This man feel that Liberia is obligated to him. They must take care of him. Any kind of way you want to run that country, he must run that way. That's high degree of arrogance and insensitivity. I got no other way to phrase this one. And up to today's date, there have not been any clarification to come on that statement to say, you know what, maybe the president misspoke or he didn't mean it this way, just to save a political face. But no, they're not doing the Mabon. So I just wanted to speak to that point, man.
But Abby, one point before I tell you what to Mabon quickly, you said something right. Politicians can make gaps. Gaps is like you intend to say something right, but you use a poor choice of words.
Exactly.
Joseph Boaga gave the total opposite. Joseph Boaga laid a fundamental premise before speaking his so-called parable.
No, Mabon, I understand. You tell me, I understand that part. You are right, but I'm just saying just to save a political face. But no, you're not doing it.
Yeah.
And you know,
I believe this man don't have the temperament to run that country, because if we give out if we catalog what he had been saying, like what AB brought out some ones about what he said there to the church and all of that, we catalog all of these things, you know that this man do not have the temperament to run that country, because he don't know how to express himself when there is a problem, and it will always be a problem in Liberia. So when will he ever learn at his age, and people trying to seek him for the second term, what presentation they will be bringing to us when campaign starts? Because we see the downfall right now. And AB, you made a strong point the last time about the Millennium Challenge, you know, the MCC, because Georgia government did it right and we received that money. So is his government going to do it right for the next administration to receive it? It's another thing.
I hope it happens. Or into all of the economic situation, I hope it happens. But these people, they're into intersection now. They have failed rule of law in succession with the Millennium Challenge. And they're still doubling down on issues.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring this point just before we switch. I don't know what Mabon got planned for the day.
Right.
And like I said, what Joseph Boaga did is not in isolation. It's part of how we operate as a people and as a culture in Liberia. We got a divisive mindset, and we are not people who work like a team, right? I was listening to an interview they were conducting in Ghana, right? When Nana Akufo-Addo was president. He the one came with the year of the return in 2019, right?
Yes.
And they asked him, why you came up with this idea? He said something fundamental. He said, every great society in human history was built on human diversity. No country sat by itself to say they were self-developed. They had to incorporate people from outside to come and contribute. That's why he came up with the idea that even people in the diaspora were given free land. They carried them to a remote part of the country. You got to go and register your deed. But they were giving all the incentive to encourage people to come to Ghana.
To go back home. Yeah.
On 2019, Ghana GDP had almost doubled. Their tourism alone, at a certain point, 2023, they raked in, I think it was how much they came out with, I think it was close to $19 billion of investment. And that's what he said. No country, even a country like Liberia, right? Like I said, the reason I said we are a special kind of a country, when our lawmaker decided to excommunicate other Liberians from the process, whether it's about citizenship or holding public office, just because they are in the diaspora. So people shouldn't think that what's coming from Joseph Boaga is coming from him alone. No, the vast majority.
It's not isolated, Mo. It's not isolated.
Yeah, Joseph Boaga just happened to be the latest one to come and say it. So I keep telling my diaspora folks, even though we are all Liberians, no, but the perception over there, no, you are seen as an enemy to the state. That's why they won't try to eliminate you. Once you are not there, you are not considered to be a Liberian. That's why everything they want to excommunicate the diaspora and deal with the people on the ground, because they believe that remote control, they can do anything, they can get away. Nobody is going to criticize. That's the kind of culture they want to maintain. So that's why you got from Joseph Boaga. Nothing strange.
But just to close on the topic, from my understanding, even the transformer that's standing in that man yard, it was contribution for diaspora through a dependable son and all that kind of thing. And then you come here and be calling people using those kind of demeaning words against the very people that every day you run here to them. Every day you come here and then you expect them to welcome you and this and that.
Yeah.
I mean, what informed this kind of decision, Mom? What informed those kind of utterances? Even if that's something that's on your mind, in your capacity as the father of the nation, must it come up out of your mind? What have it changed? Now that you have uttered those kind of demeaning, derogatory words, what have it changed?
No,
they only expose you.
Diaspora Liberian, we are cash cows.
Yes.
We are not Liberian when it comes to the day-to-day activity of Liberia or the future movement or the progress of Liberia. We are only good for financial purposes.
That's
when
it.
People want to use them. You come here, all the politicians come here, they go to town hall meetings, they come here to raise funds, and then they go back. But the moment they enter Liberia, then the people outside of Liberia are no longer Liberian. That's the culture we have established. That's why I can say, my brother, I don't see an outlet for Liberia. I just don't see
Yeah,
it.
but Monk and AB, I believe there's a root problem within the setting of all what we're talking about. And I think it's we're having serious cultural problem. You know, when our society is broken down, it withers down to the cultural side. That means to say the way how the people act, what the people say, who the people follow, all of that. So it's no more society, it's what is done every day. So it's cultural. And I wrote a piece, you know, about the cultural decline in Liberia. You know, we should speak about it because it undermines growth. It undermines the infrastructure that we have there. It makes everything to look like nothing. Liberia today, you know, stands on the slippery slope. You know, once the discipline was well respected before during our time, today indiscipline is an excuse. You know, once preparation was praised, but today shortcuts are celebrated. Integrity earned respect during our time. Today, dishonesty is admired, even if it brings wealth. So we're in a cultural shift that did not happen overnight. It was because of years of war, survival, politics, and economic hardship trained many Liberians to patronize immediate gain over long-term stability. So we're in a piece of mess that have been within the mindset of our people. That is cultural. And all of what we're talking, we just pray, God, that these people understand that we are talking in their interest. We're not talking against them, but within their own setting in Liberia, they think that we're talking against them. Like the remark the president made, you know, those people out there, you don't listen to them. We are here. So it's a message that's been sent to us that they will not tolerate our.
But to that, Mr. Dishusen, you are one of the other old folks who should be blamed. For me, I will blame you people because I guess that you people have your various organizations. You people are united.
I agree with you 100%. You don't have to go further, Mabel. The different organizations that in the diaspora, you know. But if you notice the ones that the Yola that in America ain't being supported by the same government to go and give them money on their hand, you know. So these organizations need to be able to speak out. You are right 100%. There's the time that if we're doing it individually, independently, but I think, like you said, the unity will come in if the different organizations outside of Liberia be able to spark out these things and speak on behalf of the people. But when we will have that, because that is not being organized, and until that, I don't think that we're going to go the trend in how you wanted it to go. But that's the right way, Mabel.
Yes, yes, I come for the AB to add up to that. The reason is that sometimes, let me be frank, I think you people who have been struggling for ever so long to even give recognitions. Yeah, and thank God for the social media. It's very, very helpful. It's good. But for me, I will shift most of the blames on you people, even with all the things that we are going through. That's why most of the politicians will all be shifting. That's why like when they won't cause trouble because they feel that they get money in one set. They feel intimidated. They are afraid of you people. They feel that you people always having the upper hand. But again, they go to you people for all of the things today that they are doing to us. They go to you people for their advices. They go out there, they see everything. And even when they get the positions, they bring some of you people to even be part of their governance system. And they will give you people the position, and some of you will put, in fact, will join them to do wickedness to the poor struggling people. So you people are not united on that side. So they feel that maybe there's a loophole. They say, but then we can use them because the people are not united. So by the time we go there, we get them money the way you just said. We get them positions. They just want to live for the better life. They don't even want to come back home. So some of them, they just get them jobs, they give them money, they'll be okay. I think all of these things should be a learning curve now moving forward, where the diaspora Liberians will be able to say no. They have a one voice. They come together, even though we'll have a political party of our choice. Everybody will have their individual, maybe political party, or maybe that side they want to support. That's good. But as an organization, we will be like, for example, where they have the diaspora, they have some kind of maybe diaspora unit or organization. Where, they, for example, a neighbor have a clinic or maybe a hospital. If I want diaspora, I will go to that specific group of people or to that organization. They will recommend diaspora for me. Well, I'm not seeing everything for the AB. Because everything just upside down from here, from outside of Liberia to back home, everything just the same. But go ahead.
Listen, Mabon, why you talking here, oh man? I understand why you're driving at. But Monk, don't be surprised. Now that Baka is on his way to the States, but immediately he get here, you'll see the very Yola leadership will be standing at the podium there, raining praises on him. When in fact, Yola, as of this morning, should have come up with a statement of condemnation for that particular derogatory statement from the president, but they will not.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, you got the civil society in that country, and every time I get beat on my own because like Ali Cry being a Muslim, that Ali Cry guy was very instrumental, vocal against the George Weah government, to the point that George Weah even visited the mosque on Bessie Street. That guy said, why is it that they even had to get George Weah picture around that mosque? He had a press conference and condemned it. But today, he doesn't say a word because he got a job, that he taking fabulous pay, so he's saying nothing. I'm not going to go to the Christian because I'm a Muslim, so I will deal with my own. That's how deceptive the people are right now. They are all bought. Yola is here. They should be condemning on behalf of the United Liberians in the Americas for those kind of derogatory statements. I don't care how anybody can give it any nomenclature in terms of literature, literal meaning or figurative meanings. You can, under no circumstances, you should be putting human being and dog in the same category. No, it's a no. But this is the situation you got made for. And the insensitivity is continuing to pile up. This man, every step of the way, do you know how many times Joseph Barker visited to the point he used to come and sit down in the basement with Henry Costa in Delaware? To even go to walking around just to get assistance, calling on this guy left and right. By the way, Mabon, the way you're talking about job, not every Liberian coming over there right now. Look at the infrastructure development in terms of building and homes. And they're not everybody Liberian going over there seeking for job. So people that are financially okay around here. Maybe they have decided to do something structurally to develop it. All they need a conducive atmosphere. So they're not everybody seeking for job over there, Mabon. For you to be a run. Now, I tell you what, the reason, one of the main person that particular word was used against was the likes of the very Stanton Westbourne. Because being vocal on issues now, that's because they say they're backing. For you to even say that people are the guy legitimate concern, you should say they are backing. Are you kidding me? Oh God, man, let me progress, man.
Well, thank you. So quickly before we even transition, my brother Jane, indeed, let me just respond to you. Look, I think the only problem with us back home is maybe the voting aspect. I think that's the only problem that we're always causing, maybe. But when it comes to the issue of selecting leaders or maybe people who will serve in various positions, it's up to the highest level. And Liberians, they don't make these kind of decisions. At the end of the day today, even if you check how many percent of diaspora Liberians run under any government, maybe you will check maybe about 4 to 5%. I guess maybe you, if a higher positions, so many positions. So in short, what I'm saying is we all want better Liberia. But how can we get better Liberia when there are so many divisions that people are not still understanding? Even some of our people who have upper hands behaving like they are living in poverty. People came down to the 2023 elections just to campaign for CDC in the name of getting job. People came down for United Party, for ANC, for all of the political parties yesterday. Where are they today? Where's the unity? Where's the love? So you know what I'm saying? I know you people on that side are not together. This thing will continue to happen. Maybe that some kind of person will come and recognize you people and respect you people and say, yes, I think you people are doing better. But other than that, my brother, these people, they will continue to shift all of the blames that you people are the reason why Liberia is backward.
But Mayborn, I think AB gave the clue of what after it's happening. Yola, who is supposed to be representing the group as a whole, and we're not coming out as an individual, one coming up as an independent, also AB, we're all speaking out. But when we talk about you trying to emphasize on the group, on the grouping, it have to be Yola. They have to step up first. Let the other organization that they set up there within the Americas and in Europe and elsewhere will follow up. But when Yola don't take the lead, they have to go wait and be receiving something from the delegates that are coming from Liberia. I don't think it's going to work.
Then sometimes I think there should be a major protest because we most of the leadership. If some of the leadership, if they have been biased, sorry, my sister, if some of the leadership have been biased and they are not in the interest, then you have them removed. Because if most of the blame will be shifted, like my sister said, if most of the blame will be shifted on us as to how we go about voting, I think the first decency, let me friend tonight, the first decency should come from outside of Liberia. Let's see the unity. Let's see how bad you people will say no. Mr. Government or this government, even though we not, maybe the organization, we have individual supporters who support you, but the other person that you're choosing to go and represent you at this area, I don't think this person meet maybe the criteria or so forth. When these things are happening, I think we'll be going somewhere because people just support at the end of the day because of what they can get. For me, how I see it. So anyway, that move on. Let's now transition, but it's not easy though. We got a long way to go. No matter what happens.
Maybe in conclusion to the topic at Mayborn, if you vividly recall, during the last regime, just a statement, I think when I think it was during the time those LRA auditor died or so in the car or whatever it is, and then the president at the time stated that there's a need for every Liberian to have CC camera and they magnify that thing and politicize it in our country. Today, the very people are talking about every one of them, you go to their homes and they got the cameras in there. But they politicize that particular statement. How much more a man that is calling people dog?
That's the point right there. People, even some of you, brother Eddie, even some of you yesterday, you even threaten your own family members back home that if you vote for them, can you imagine? Just because of poverty, just because you feel that maybe that person is into urgent poverty and you are the one maybe that giving a little helping hand. So you threaten them that if you not vote for this candidate, I'll not do nothing for you. When you will not get this, you will not do that. Today, where is the candidate now? The candidate into opposition. Where are the family members? Where are these people today?
Candidate calling you dog.
God be God. We're in a very serious the entire triangle. You can see the pain that it's just a cycle that we're just going to be into this cycle for ever so long until we all will understand to say, okay, I think this cycle, we've been into this cycle for ever so long. What can we now do? That's for Liberians, be united, let's choose, let's understand, let's have our own disagreement, and let's disagree to agree. But the hatred is there, the disunity is there among you people. I don't even get it. At the end of the day, you put the politics to toss it to the extent that even when we even say something about even international politics, people get angry on this radio. Just mention Donald Trump. Some people are already into their feelings. So let's move on, man.
But maybe the last scenario you laid, maybe that's a challenge the president is trying to throw to the diaspora Liberian. Because if we are dogs and we are not needed in Liberia, then it means our resources shouldn't be needed in Liberia. So maybe it's a new challenge that the diaspora should disengage, because he's not president for us. He's president for the people that is within Liberia. So maybe Joseph Boga is throwing a monkey wrench to the people in the diaspora. Be like, we don't need you, because if you guys are going through challenges, we are not the one that are going through those challenges. And equally so, if there are benefits that the country is benefiting from, then we will not be the one to enjoy those benefits. So maybe the president is drawing the line in the sand for the diaspora to rethink their financial strategy and see how the people in Liberia can benefit from their government, saying we are not Liberians anymore because we live outside the borders of Liberia. Maybe that's what he's trying to say.
I guess it's possible, man. I don't know. I don't know how any other way to put this thing. I don't know how to interpret it.
Well, so we've been getting this information from Sierra Leone, Mark. I think that was sometime last evening about the Sierra Leonean ambassador, or in fact the foreign minister, Tumete Kaba, also confirmed that the disputed land between between Sierra Leone and that of Guinea belongs to Guinea, according to him. And so we have the video. You want to play that and pass through that. And yeah, so maybe you'll have to say, because this is really embarrassing. 16
Maybe you know what I'm laughing at.
I know where I'm going on.
16 soldiers, or in fact 16 civilian or in fact army personnel was also arrested by them sometime in March. I think yes, it was somewhere around in March. They were arrested and I think they have been released. But at long last, the civilian government said no, even though we've been fighting for their land, but their land for us, it belongs to Guinea. So I have the video. Let me see, let me just play the video, then we'll have our say. And maybe move on, because our team said we should just enjoy the remaining time of our show.
Get that very land, na Falaba district, when Guinea authorities them arrest with Salon authorities them for about 5 days, when they say they enter 1.4 kilometers inside their own place and put Salon flag there, which Sote pass with foreign affairs minister go there and go talk diplomatic talk before they actually free that we Salon security personnel in day. This confirmation so come out from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Timothy Kaba, while they talk now the democracy.
When we go Guinea, the scientific fact is that flag was raised 1.4 kilometers inside Guinean territory. Get this as a fact. 1.4 kilometers inside Guinean territory.
You self-accept that as Foreign Affairs Minister?
Yes, sir, because I've seen the coordinates. The coordinate has been verified. The fact-finding mission we go from Sierra Leone also proves that flag was masked in that area.
Before the minister, they talk this talk here, so Melvin Tijam Saye be also talk na Epic Radio say, if actually that place they na Salon Geta, why not now we go for go put with flag day?
The Guineans are saying go build tents and raise flag. So you ask yourself, if not be with territory as Sierra Leonean people,
well, sorry that we having some difficulty with our system, but again, Mark, there where we are latest that happened, I think last evening. At long last, the Foreign Affairs Minister of Sierra Leone.
Let me get it go ahead and go first before I come, because I saw it coming.
You know, Mark, the irony about these things, maybe you are right. There's information long even before Guinea could cross into Liberia. They were in Sierra Leone. In fact, in Sierra Leone case, they arrested their military, about almost 16 of them. Okay, Liberia at least were fortunate that they didn't grab the army there over there. And Sierra Leone, long time Sierra Leone have alluded to the fact that the disputed place they're talking about belong to Guinea. In fact, that was part of their compromise over there to kind of manage to release their military people. Okay, because they came to that conclusion. Now, for you to have the other way around in Liberia, your government is not. Sierra Leone managed to even speak to her citizens. They are attempting to tell them that, oh yeah, this is the problem and this is where we are. This is the resolution we have come to. You got your president up to today's date. You had a meeting, took your taxpayer money and flew to Guinea, and came back told you nothing. Up to today's day, you got a place is occupied by Guinea. Only to come after a lawmaker that stated the obvious, what was happening to the place, and based on his information. Today, they have been prosecuted and trying to remove him from the sitting legislative office. And yesterday, the people stay on the soil. And for all indicators, what I'm gathering is that the people are not going to leave from that place. They are laying claim to it permanently. Then when you talk to the people, they say, oh, diplomacy. Diplomacy where? Who are you speaking to now at this point in time? Your president Fuya, you didn't tell her that he coming to engage the United Nations here based on the issue that is happening at the border. They have not told you anything like that. So I mean, let the others come in, man. So I think maybe the Sierra Leone guy or the other foreign, maybe they will fire him for stating why he stated. Mongi can come in.
Yes, Mark, or maybe Mr. Tishu, what say you with the latest land wahana along last the Sierra Leone government, the foreign minister agreed that indeed the land for them, the land belong to Guinea, and in fact they have their 16 officers or the soldiers have been released.
Well, you can see this problem here started off long since before we came to know ourselves. Like this thing happened before between Guinea and Sierra Leone, and the same technique that they did in Sierra Leone, claiming that land is what they had thought about doing to Liberia. What I would say is that I believe that there's a secret compact agreement between the three presidents, Walker, the man from Sierra Leone, and the boy from Guinea. You can see that they are giving in to each other. Well, Guinea wanted certain fugitive from Liberia to go to them, and our justice system, was not able to carry out the judiciary impact on it, and that boy was flown out of here. There was a fugitive in Liberia from Sierra Leone. We all talk about it. What happened? He was sent back to Sierra Leone. But all the Liberian people know the decisions that the Liberian government are going to make. And we have seen in recent time that the recent contract of the $400 and something million that have been given to the Sierra Leonean contractor, which is Malambio brother, controlling that particular company. So we see ourselves in a triangular village of the leaders putting themselves together to protect themselves, because the inner Guinea man that want to go and do subversive thing there in Guinea, and they get intelligence that the person in Liberia will send that person over, we'll all investigate, and we'll all find out what actually happened. And the same thing that going on. So if these people are awarding such a kind of contract to a Sierra Leonean company for $400 and something million, when we have so many companies in Liberia that can build roads, why give it out? Why sell out our country? We have sold up everything. Everything we have sold up. We have sold up our forests, the sea gone to the Chinese people, the fishery, our diamond, our gold, everything gone to foreigners. When will our people come to themselves and find out that the trajectory that we heading to is worse than what we're coming out of? You know, because it is so bad that I don't see a future in Liberia. What I wanted to start to discuss now is we should start to talk about Liberia being a failed state, and we can use that context and we can talk anything we want to talk. But talking openly and liberally for the people, I think that it don't make that much sense. We should talk that Liberia's a failed state, then we pick up the problem from there and we can go on and start to talk about all the different problems within the setting of a failed state. Because the people living in denial, they don't know that they're living in a failed state. They think Liberia is good. They think Liberia is great for them. Anytime you ask any one of them, oh, Liberia fine, Liberia this. But they don't know what they're going through because they are blinded by the leaders who had put them into slavery, and they don't know they're into slavery. That's it.
All right. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Dishu. Yeah, Mark, what say you? This is indeed troubling, security-wise. Some of us here, we were here shifting most of the blames on the Guinean the army for arresting Sierra Leonean army, even though we don't know exactly what went wrong. But later on now, we finally get all of the information. I don't know what's going on with the MRU and so forth. I have the video where the Sierra Leonean president, our own president, and the Guinean president also, they were holding hands. But more, what say you first? Because I have so many questions.
First of all, I think Yeke Koluba should be celebrating that video because it's total vindication for him. That I laid a premise on the show. When it comes to disputed territory, they got people that can be having different opinions on the disputed territory. They got people in Sierra Leone that believe that that particular land belongs to Guinea. They got people in Guinea that believe that what they call disputed territory. In the case of Liberia, I said on the show, I can remember everything I said. I said the University of Indiana got the most comprehensive record on Liberia than any university in America. I did my background check. That's why I asked yesterday why our opposition leaders cannot go and do opposition research in Guinea. Because I know that at the time, we are talking about the foreign minister, somebody in the hierarchy of the Sierra Leonean government making a concession. They say when you know the truth will set you free. The reason people hate the truth and to think because it's very uncomfortable. My brother, they mentioned scientific research was done, there are documentation. That's why the last time I came on the show, I said when you read the document, there is a red dotted line on the land in Liberia. The land goes beyond the river. That's why in the 1907 treaty, that was the dotted line. I think I posted a picture on it. I got that from the University of Indiana, and I posted that picture. So I look at the thing, I say, internationally, at that particular conference, they say, when there is a river between two countries, the origin of the river, the country where the origin starts, that country claims ownership of the river. In the case of Liberia, it was not only the river, but the dotted line is on the land side of Liberia at the river banks. So it means town and villages along that river automatically belong to Guinea. That's what I said on the show. The second thing is, I put a context of geopolitics. The last time I checked, it was China that did the most comprehensive survey in Liberia according to the Joseph Boakai government in the last, I'm going to say 73 years or 53 years. China conducted the most comprehensive geographical survey. China just invested $18 billion to transport their raw material, which is iron ore, to the port of Samado. I say if that river is noted to have resources, then Guinea will want to claim, even though we're sharing that river in terms of the usage for fishery, for transportation. But now with the latest update about China investment and minerals being around that area, most likely Guinea want to exert authority over that area. That's why they are becoming more apprehensive. Maybe a country that does not believe a piece of land belongs to them, they won't cross the river to host their flag. And why they mentally from Sierra Leone? So why the police cannot go accuse him of treason? Because he believes. We are talking about a Sierra Leone, someone in the government saying that the land belongs to Guinea. That's why I keep telling you folks, go. Yeke Koluba only says something that Joseph Boakai refused to say. So it means Yeke Koluba research was also comprehensive, and he came to a conclusion that that land, at the end of the day, Guinea will take that land because it belongs to Guinea. That's where the problem came from. So it means our president, like I said, that's why I keep saying, I keep asking for Taiwan Gonglo. What become of your impeachment proceeding? Because I knew at the end of the day where the thing is going to end. I know Guinea will not be the assertive if they are not 100% sure that land belongs to them. There is a reason, there is a method to their madness. That's why they were able to cross the river and host their flag, because they know the documentation and the scientific evidence will prove that they will be vindicated. That's why they took that action. That's why they arrested the Sierra Leonean. And trust me, if the same thing is happening on the Sierra Leonean side, then more than likely, if Sierra Leone can make a concession, it means that our president, I can bet my money that he
and there where I was coming more to you and maybe any other team, there where I was coming as to what's going to happen next after a year with Sierra Leone or maybe the Sierra Leone government confessing to say, or in fact agree, or maybe alluding to the fact that indeed the land belonged to Guinea, and all of the officers that were arrested, they are all been released. So they finally turn Guinea land over. What's going to happen next? What are you sensing? Mark?
Yeah, hello? Like I just told you, I'm on
Sktv
on the radio. I told you from day one, because she was here, we did all the calculation, we did all the research, we did all the talking. Like at the end, I told you more than likely how the thing was going to end. That's why every time we come on the show, I ask for Taiwan Gonglo. That's why I ask why our opposition leaders are not going to do their own research, because the information is out there. I knew it was coming down to this. And the whole MRU, or that particular segment in between Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea, like I said, the Sierra Leonean man said 1.4 kilometers into Guinea. When you convert that into a mile, that's almost 3.3 miles. That's deep into Guinea. Like I said, from my own research, that red dotted line that I posted beyond the river, I know most of the town and villages along that river bank belongs to Guinea, because it was documented. That was the territory. That was the market with a dotted line. I posted it on Facebook. And I told you, at the end of the day, that land belongs to Guinea, including the river. Just because you have access to use a river by virtue of being on the river banks does not give you authority over the river. So all the documents I saw, I said, no, that thing will end up being for Guinea. So Guinea is only going to reclaim territory that they know has been theirs for the longest. So like I said, at the end of the day, the only person that I know that committed a crime is Joseph Boakai. So yeah, this video is, like I said, it's a total vindication of Yeke's position. The only difference between Yeke and Joseph Boakai is they are trying to transfer Joseph Boakai crimes to Yeke Koluba. That's why I said from day one.
But Mong, you are so right, oh man. To expand on the situation, that's why I stated on the show the other time, this transfer aggression. And they're trying to find a fall guy here. The thing about it is this. If you have a land of this kind of the magnitude of this thing, the first and prudent thing that the security apparatus should have done was to even call Honorable Yeke Koluba. Honorable, yes, we don't have one political idea here. You gave an information out there publicly. Can you come and then brief on what's the situation, where your source of information coming from? Maybe you could help us to even mitigate some of the problems around here. But no. Because they had an ulterior motive already to silence the. Just imagine, this very Stanton Witherspoon is telling you today that journalists have been deprived of going over there to even take photos there. They were chasing his journalists over there to tell you that there's a lot of ulterior motive behind the whole thing. But because those that were connected to the situation and they are from a tribal group that belongs to the president, you've tried to protect them and throw the other guy under the bus as a victim under the situation here. What is crime Yeke committed? Yeke stated something today that is prevalent. It's prevalent. It's there. We've seen it. It's not like it's some kind of obscure thing. We've seen it visibly. Your country is occupied by a foreign nation, and you're doing nothing about it. But he has committed a crime. And you know, if a lawmakers to be there up to today's date, they have not had one hearing about the border issues. Not one public hearing to say, oh, what happened at our border? Let's call the necessary authority to come answer some questions. No, they have not done that, but they called them back and gave them thousands of dollars for them to sit there and remove a lawmaker because he stated the obvious. So what you're stating here is a situation. It is total vindication for Yeke, but they will not accept that reality. They will not. And I don't hear that Australia is running behind the government official that stated those things.
No, there's nothing of such. But quickly to that, Mark, maybe to you and maybe Mr. Dishu can just make it short quickly before we go to a line to hear from our people. security-wise, and also when it comes to the issue of communication. How come our government taking this issue like we're fighting war, or maybe Guinea and Liberia they are war, or maybe we there's something running out and the NSA need millions of dollars, maybe our security will need millions of dollars to go and fight war. But all of these things, how come, even if it is easier, maybe the West have a long day, or maybe we can do a survey and to understand as to whether maybe quote unquote the land belong to Liberia or not, to just find the way forward so that our people can live in peace instead of all to be worrying and pulling. Mark, maybe Mr. Tishu, what do you think is the power now to move on?
Maybe, like I said before, I used to pass to that particular area. Just like what Monk said, and what I assumed before was that the people had no idea that that area, that river will reach, because we from the Liberian side, if we want to go into Guinea, so there was a raft that is there, and you pay your money to get on the raft. But we didn't know whether on the other side, from the Liberian side, and we put in our car, whether it was for the Guinean people, we didn't know anything about that. We were not aware of that. Not until in recent time, we get to know that this particular area is rich in resources, and other people are invested into Guinea, and they hope to get the best out of the money that they're going to invest in Guinea. Now, setting up the truth the people don't want to put up the truth, because the mining that was done in that particular area, it had been reported that some machineries and other things were seized by the Guinean authority. And the Liberian government had never told us the real story about that. They're still hiding under this thing. This thing is no land dispute, because if it were a land dispute, the man spent the taxpayer money. He went to Rwanda, he went to Guinea, he went all around to ask people to intervene into this problem. So you want to tell me, for all the roundabouts that he made, there's no end result if there were land dispute? So it's something else, and they don't want to tell us what the other thing is. The other thing is the mining that is being done in that area, and the people want to claim that particular area, and our government is being backed. Our government is backing that particular company that is there. So that is a serious problem, and until we face that particular problem, I don't think we're going to have a solution to this.
Maybe we can go to the line.
Yes, so let's go to the line to hear from our people.
I want to anyway go to the line, but I wanted to pop in before maybe go.
Yes, so let me just play the video more quicker than
go ahead.
Not to we get that very land, Nafalaba district, when making authorities them arrest with Salon authorities them for about 5 days, when they say they enter 1.4 kilometers inside their own place and put Salon flag there, which Sote pass with Foreign Affairs Minister go there and go talk diplomatic talk before they actually free that we Salon security personnel then day. This confirmation so come out from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Timothy Kaba. Why be they talk already democracy?
When we go Guinea, the scientific fact is that that flag was raised 1.4 kilometers inside Guinean territory. Get this as a fact. 1.4 kilometers inside Guinean territory.
You self-accept that as Foreign Affairs Minister?
Yes, sir, because I've seen the coordinates. The coordinates has been verified. The fact-finding mission we go from Sierra Leone also proves that flag was masked in that area.
Before the minister they talk this talk here, so Melvin Tijam Mansaye we also talk na Epic Radio say if actually that place in a salon gets a wine and now we go for go put with flag there.
The Guineans are saying go build tents and raise flag. So you ask yourself, if now we territory as Sierra Leonean people, why not now we go put tents there and raise with flag there?
But why
So
not? You answer the question now. Why you think that now we'd actually make efforts for make a border post between Salon and Guinea in that particular place?
Because we have lazy governments where they forget the issue, where they have not been clear in their heads as to how do we go about it.
Even though we don't get clear understanding as to what exactly happened, but it raised concern about border awareness, coordination among security agencies, them, and the need for clear demarcation between Salon and Guinea for avoiding kind of a situation they are soon in the future. Slick.
So there you have it, to state television. Very interesting.
In life, when you're growing up, you used to listen to what people say. But as you get older, you watch what people do. You don't listen to what people say. Look, I told you, based on our research on this show, all the listeners, they can bear witness. When I came on the show, I said that land belongs to Guinea, including the river. I'm now a Sierra Leonean, so I don't know. I didn't go do research on the Sierra Leonean side. I did research on the Liberian side about the red dotted line across the river banks. I know that land belongs to Guinea. And the president action alone vindicated my particular statement on the land. But bon, when you read the official, the 1900 document, the treaty, it gave both countries the right to use the river. But using the river does not mean it belongs to Liberia. It belongs to Guinea because the origin is in Guinea, right? When the latest survey came about, Guinea believed that there are lots of minerals in that river flowing into Sierra Leone. Because when you look at people who can do topography, they believe that whenever there's a river, you got mineral, because you know river can flow. So the direction the river is flowing, it also carrying mineral over there. And Guinea believe they can make a whole bunch of money. That's why they were able to seize those money equipment. Because Guinea was like, okay, we gave you the right to use it, but you are going further than we gave you because you want to start doing illegal money, and that will not happen on our watch. That's why when the president came, so it seems like the president went more in favor of defending his Lothians and the illegal money than fighting for our territory. That's why I'm telling you now. If Sierra Leone can make concession, that's what the guy said. The scientific facts and evidences are there. The coordinates, because it will measure. The coordinates, yes. He's not guessing. If Sierra Leone can make concession, then it's a total vindication that Joseph Boaga made concession. The problem is, Joseph Boaga is not man or brave enough to come and tell us that he made concession. He went there with the sole intent of protecting his BK enterprises because it was what triggered the Guineans' aggression. It's not about who owns the land. Guinea know the land belongs to them. That's why for the first time, they crossed the river and hosted their flag on the so-called Liberian soil. But it was a disputed territory. Now, like I said, there should be a celebration day for Yeke Koluba because Yeke Koluba research also has proven that Guinea is a legitimate owner of the
land. But Monk, you know the embarrassment your government is in and Boaga in? Because unless Sierra Leone, Maybe.
So, yeah, go ahead. I just wanted to play this short piece because
I know.
Interaction of the three presidents.
But Monk, you know the embarrassment your president in? Unless for Sierra Leone, because Sierra Leone told you, the foreign minister said that Sierra Leone crossed the border and went about 1-point-something kilometer into Guinea, correct? And put their flag. But it's a reverse in Liberia. Liberia did not go put the flag across the river, but rather your government sat on there and it took away a territory that from the time the independence of this country, people have been using the particular territory. So in itself, if he come and say anything, no matter what he says it, Liberia not going to accept the fact they're going to say that Liberia land was taken away. So that's the conundrum he's in. He will not be brave to muster that courage to tell you as compared to Sierra Leone. Because Sierra Leone party telling you the army garden went further. They crossed their border and went into Guinea.
But Ebi, here's the thing. The same way Guinea accorded all the privileges of using the river is what they did to Sierra Leone.
Yes.
So Sierra Leone going into that territory to go pull the fund what
yes.
Like, we own the land, we take the user now, you want to claim it, so that how they reacted in Sierra Leone.
Exactly.
It's okay. If Sierra Leone got a man to come put flag on our land, then more than likely Liberia will come do it. So we'll go to our own first. That's exactly what the Kenyan did.
Exactly. That's the problem. Your government find it difficult now to speak to the public. Because historically, it's going to be a record on you. It's a stain that you will not take away. That under your watch.
0770. Let's go to the line. Yes, let's go to the line to hear from our people. I'll either use 10 or 15 minutes of our time to hear from our people. To this first caller, good evening.
Good evening, Mabel. How are you today?
My brother, okay, thank God for life.
Okay, my name is Mamu Sefu. I'm calling you from Broadway. You know, for me, I don't want to speak on the issue of Liberian unity on the line of President Boakai's statement and other stuff. For one reason is that it depends on the political divide one set, and that's the way in which one is going to be looking at it and, supporting it or criticizing, which is very sad for our country. That is one. Then the other one has to do with the Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia border issue. Look, neighbor, I've been a beneficiary and I've lived on both sides of two of the borders. That is Guinea, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Liberia. I've seen it very well. This that is going on is beyond what you and myself we are discussing every day here. Guinea has just decided to use its might on both countries in order to claim those land. That is just very clear.
Which both countries and which both countries? Because I don't just saying to you, hello. I come in and please. Let me fair to the conversation. Because if you say that Guinea they are using their authority, then that means you are saying that they are forcibly taking things that don't belong to them. No, the Sierra Leone government, no, I come in and the Sierra Leone government said no, that place is not for us. So let's just take that.
It's not a government. Even now, if you go and look at our media institution in Sierra Leone, the reaction that is coming.
When you say another government,
the foreign minister speaking, they said another government. Stop it, man.
No, man. Don't say that.
The foreign minister speaking, they said another government.
Another government. How can I are you? Hello to this caller. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Brother Mabel, and that of your panelists. My name is Jeremiah Siawit. I joined this discussion from issue number 6 again. You know, these are some of the things that some of us been saying from the beginning, and people just deliberately refuse to listen to this. They said that we're backing on when they get called back. Now, the honorable man came out, he said, he didn't just say the land belongs to Guinea. He said, according to my soul, according to the investigation, the fraud they have done, the land belongs to Guinea. Now, it was prudent enough for the government to call on the Columbia or the next time. Let's a one-on-one. How you get the information? Who gave you the information? And go through the school land for Guinea. They see what you did it. Easier as that. You say, I'm going to land for Guinea. Simple as that. We done with the issue ever since we've gone by our way. Up to now, the Guineans occupy the land. You say for you, for you, the Guinean army is there. So this time you came up to make it clear to the citizen that yes, indeed the land belongs to Guinea.
Simple.
But because it's similar motive. They had something already playing against the Kekoluba. They forgetting about people that were doing illegal money to the trade. They forgetting about them. We can't have a person money name again. We can't have a common father name. They just supporting the Kekoluba every day, and we're not going nowhere. Everything I get already the Kekoluba.
All right, thank you so much. Quickly to this caller. Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening, neighbor, and to our panelists in the U.S. This is Edmond Carr, the member of the Concerned Librarian for Justice. You guys put it right. Well, I got a few threatening because you guys are helping us to know the issue and to follow the issue to be more political oriented. That is a fear. Now, listen to the analysis from our brothers in the U.S. Listen to them. You think other way hear anything, you will feel comfortable. And what you guys are saying, it's not about negatively criticizing the government, but saying the right thing. We don't have a issue about the whole thing. You think, why is the issue? The government is just saying, the last time they are all men started water spoon for crying far. Decided to go do investigation to tell the people saying the post here. Also, the president we don't know why it's a story or that generally whether he's saying on the wrong or what is happening. So this is what happening. So if you claim that the plan we're talking about, you're not saying it right, you're not doing the right thing, then why are we not hearing from our government? The people are displayed, they are told, they are left, they are told to come on 33 villages, they are left, they are playing, they let their chickens, they be farming and nothing in from the government, but all they are doing is to use Yeke to cover the whole story.
All right, thank you.
The president made against our brothers in the UN. Look, like I was telling somebody, I said, if the guy in the diaspora just decided today, we will go our research from that there for 3 months. But I will crawl on a better to pay the guy in the diaspora. Because their contribution to Liberia is very huge. There is no economy here. And because of our diaspora support towards us about holding the country. So Baka need to try. Baka need to try. You can always be evil. You can always try to prove to everybody that you are the only unique person.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, my dear brother. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, thank you, Mabel, and thanks to the panelists on the show. I'm Alvin Johnson calling from Tupo, the chairperson for the Concerned Librarian for Justice. You see the country, I always ask the question, what led to the Guinean coming to the border? That our rebel, we get our war. Joseph Boaka, what there 42 years experience. One say he told main job and gave the ball. And the main job they give to me, Guinea can't tell our land. I'm gonna say the land for them. Piagia Gorba say payment souls, they land for Guinea. Who the drummer they expect? But you man, what brought attention is taking the job. I call it man. The representative of Foya District, Thomas Fala, is still keeping the job. The chief of staff refused to move the army after the surveillance cleared the place. But surveillance were in defense of the country, he was shot. Up to now, the chief of staff still keeping the job. The commander-in-chief, which is the president, that refused to deploy the army, the commander-in-chief still keeping the job.
All right.
Yet, nothing going on. We hearing nothing. The governor released no statement for the road behind Yeke. Today, so look at for the foreign minister to tell Labua, to tell the whole world that they lay for Kimi.
All right.
So, fight for it.
Thank you, my dear brother. Elder Islamia, my brother, good evening.
Yeah, thank you very much, Macon. Thank you for the recognition. Let me say good evening to all the panelists. Macon, once again, let us have the Istanbul for Omega Market and legacy of former President Wuya and a proud member of Concerned Librarian for Justice. Therefore, you see, when a leader goes in a gallery, when a particular leader lack of words, let it just remain new and real control his thoughts before making statements. Therefore, the statement the president made about diaspora Liberians, I don't know how you understand when he says diaspora Liberians. The people that are Liberians from here, they went to America and in the diaspora they are living their Macon. It's very difficult for that president to just be straight up statement to diaspora Liberians. Then I here, for example, I hear from Linda. He said, I will feel proud for reside and living in the state. For the president to refer to them as God. And even the people of Grand Gita, where my uncle will not hear from. For him to refer to them as God, for me to be happy. So it's very difficult for him to restrict that to diaspora Liberia, that all Liberians so that show me one country in the country that doesn't have Liberians for their living or anything for their living in the state. Show me one country. Jobs and say if you're trying to diaspora Liberia. What do you about that? I want to say diaspora Liberia. They give you here. Therefore, are you getting me?
Yes. Go ahead, quickly, 30 seconds.
He has instructed all Liberians. They don't want to diaspora Liberia. Diaspora Liberia are small. But all Liberians. You know what I mean? Liberians are in the jail. You know the kind of competition is doing for us in this country?
Oh.
So all the Liberians, diaspora spending money by who? What is the problem you get for Liberians here?
All right, thank you so much to this caller. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and good evening to the panelists. Mayor, this is why I cover all need to follow the truth. I mean, everything you can discuss the issue, analyze and come up with solution. But the government refused to take it. Mayor, if the diaspora like you decide to forget about the country, you think that the economy will live on the secretary of rescue in the rescue where nobody can survive? You speak in the rescue. And that's why like we're holding a country, you know. Let me tell you, you want to do that for the court to feed, buy for them to say, oh, they tell it to us, we're not getting our support in a lie. You know, so that's why like we're holding a country later. all the great managed to put a complaint. No part one of the hospital said I will not we now be hospital in the country. No part visited 3 rooms. All that 3 rooms, the folk have basket. When you reach there, they say we got our lunch basket, anything you can put it there. The second room.
But that's the whole concept looking for now. In fact, no power, no energy. People are struggling. People are just stressful. Let me frank.
She said, "My, you're not forced to." I said, she said, "My, the thing is, I was standing there making $8. Can we count time?" She said, $8 making can we count time? So that was like a little one. The whole day, when the little can get, when we clean the room, they can share it like this. They will pay away everything. All that kind of stuff. Then you now listen to the popular, you know, find solutions. Then you come out with people, you pass it people. And you see when you come to the polo, then when you see the people just get a lip tight together, they want to know the 2 meter. Like Jewa, Marcia, the people know the 2, I want to just get that lip tight, they won't say anything.
All right.
The Jetta will win the case here.
All right. Thank you so much, my sister, for being part of the show to this. Maybe second to the last caller. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, and good evening to your panelists. My name is Emmanuel Channel J. I present the district and the freeway. You remember my father was your angry winner. I can you will be angry. Our president get the power and just angry with like people. Whenever you have an opportunity to address the public, I always thinking that being passing into a really Liberian people. Our president addressed the issue is that I'm making new land. Because you are chicken war, you keep for no way you can go to calling our people largely to a national budget calling it. One of our president is very, very correct. You see, because you have to after you have for you measurements of if you want to more come up on go to the product. They are very angry.
All right. Thank you so much. Quickly to the last caller. Quickly. Good evening.
Yeah, Levon. Thank you for having me as the last caller. Good evening. Good evening to all of you people.
Yes, go ahead. Listening to you, Pampeta.
Yeah, I'm still calling you from Virginia. This was something.
Okay.
This is a serious embarrassment of we that voted the public on board. Because if you know the secret happening to Guinea, but they were better tell long foreign affairs minister they were for the people because they informed the people on what is happening there. But our people know what happening, so they don't want to tell us. And when I say I don't care, they say you can't have more person on the channel.
Now the whole team, man, brother.
It's impossible. So they will wait for
I like that. Don't get very parable here. Don't get very parable that will in trouble too.
Something happening there, but they don't want to tell on the market.
All right.
As soon as you can engage your land, they can leave it, he say for you. If for you, you can go there. Before I ever put all the army, we don't have to retire. We have to make it for science. You can have experience. You can tell on your government they know. You can have experience on why he's there. But because they are against it, this is why they are wish hunting people.
All right.
Thank you. Let God bless this country.
Thank you, my dear brother. And maybe that will be my follow-up question to Mark and that brother AB, because how come all of our security officers or our security have been withdrawn from the border, and so how come all of these things just look like somebody want to agree on something, but they still find a way, and at the end of the day, they still playing politics. The more you commit it, and you said that you get over play the role of the commander-in-chief, and JMB play the role of a political operative. I don't know what you mean by that. But again, Mark, we're back after listening to our people. Mark? Well, yeah, you can go ahead. Go ahead.
Tim Mong is muted. Yeah, but again, let me say thanks to the callers, man, and the contributors. You know, sometimes when these things happen, people really need to put aside this political cap and look at the reality of issues. Otherwise, this country is moving nowhere. People are looking at it, they're looking at the realities. Your country is still occupied by a foreign force. No if and but about it, to the point that they are sanctioning reporters for even going to the border not to do any assessment. To even tell you the plight of those that got displaced from that place, what's happening with them, nobody hearing anything about it. And the government is doing nothing about it publicly for people to know that they're doing something to try to address the plight of those people over there. But today you have another country that has similar situation, and they're being bold enough to speak to their people, to tell them that, hey, look, this is the situation here. And, you know, and they're taking the bullets for a caller to come here talking about the people, the backlash they're getting. The man is speaking his capacity as foreign minister of the Republic of Sierra Leone. They say backlash, and he's telling you all the coordinates. When in survey, when people talking about coordinate, they're talking about the demarcations, all the areas that have been measured, and they have done their due diligence and found that indeed that portion of the place that was disputed by them in Sierra Leone, I mean Guinea, is indeed for Guinea, and they try to close that chapter. But you have your government, it's not speaking to you, but rather the meager resources that you get, they're directing it towards removing a sitting lawmaker just because he spoke the facts that indeed is still happening. And, you know, and you call him, you charge him for treason. Maybe on a treason, one of the penalties for treason is murder. Execution.
A public execution. That the crime for treason.
Yeah, treason. Public execution. Yeah. So it's nothing small for you to put on a citizen that just spoke his mind. He's not coordinating with the foreign invader. He's not coordinating with anybody to through the government. But for you to even mention that in a report talking about treason, those are the penalties for it. And today this man has been maligned, but yesterday the same problem is still unfolding. So it's unfortunate, maybe. But again, this is what you get when you get a divisive leadership in the country. Yeke Kolba, I will state again, if Yeke was from the Kisi tribe, Hmong, you'd not be having a discussion about Yeke today. I'll just close on that, guys. For maybe one thing for the time.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Mark. We got to go. I was asking you because I've seen some of your comments. Yeke Kolba played the role of the commander-in-chief. GMB, the commander-in-chief, played the role of a political operative. I don't know what you mean by that, but anyway, inclusive and there better. What say you after listening to our people?
Well, we'll go in depth tomorrow. We'll go in depth tomorrow on this particular situation after the social issue. We want to really explain to our people out there. For me, like I said, that's the reason we're on SKTV. Maybe people will not give us the credit that we deserve, but I know we can cover our bases here in terms of information. When I came back, I said that land belongs to Guinea. I said it from day one. And Yeke Kolba was just adding up to what we share on the show. But bon, the actions of the president tells you everything. I'm not United Party when it comes to politics. Joseph Boakai put on an impression that he's going to defend our territorial integrity. That was a lie. When he went to Guinea, he made concessions. But the whole idea was about what triggered the Guinean response. You know, on our land, we were given privileges. There's a difference between privileges and right. I gave you privilege to use it doesn't mean that you own it. It was that illegal money that triggered the Guinean response. But Guinea knew all along that land belongs to them. But they are bordering towns and villages, and when they can do things in common, who cares which side of the river you are on? Liberian go to Guinea, Guinea can go to Liberian. So that's how they've been living. But it does not mean that the land belongs to Liberia. Because like the Sierra Leone foreign minister said, the scientific facts are there, the coordinates, the measurements are there. They got something in topography they call the 12 work. When you go to the 1907 document, where they can put something on, they got something on instrument, they put in the river to monitor the flow of the river. I didn't know that. And it was in that document that the 12 work of that particular border line in the river belongs, the vast majority is in Guinea. I say, okay, there I know, they land for Guinea for sure. But like I said, this person, the one who took it up, I said, man, what are you talking about? Eric Labrin support the Constitution. It's the written law of the land. But I wonder one man put a hand up to defend Liberia from domestic and international threat is the president. So you are comparing apple to oranges. Yeke represents the people. The president is the commander-in-chief. That's comparing apple to oranges. The moment Joseph Boakai came from Guinea, it refused to give us update about the findings of the meeting. Anyone with a common sense knew that he made concession because he knows that land belongs to Guinea.
Yep.
If that land was for Liberia, the United Party, they will finish scoring on a big victory at the United Nations for the whole war.
Yep.
But why do you think he's quiet on that? Because he know what happened in Guinea. And Yeke Kolba came and exposed what happened in Guinea. That's why they're after Yeke Kolba. Like I said, at the end of the day, the only person that I know that committed a treason in the seductive act against Liberia is Joseph Boakai, not Yeke Kolba. And I said that from day one. But tomorrow, guys, we don't have that much ground to cover now. I mean, we're out of time, but I'll stop there.
Yeah, I mean, we exhausted a little bit. We exhausted a little bit more. That was okay.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Brother AB. After all, in the midst of all, Liberia, love Liberia, think Liberia, and build Liberia. But like maybe 700 government day, if just in case, let's find the clear solution. If the play belong to whosoever, I think peace is what we want. Let know who the place is for, and if Guinea lose a place, if we play for Liberia, then Liberia take the place. If they play not for Liberia, for Guinea, let's make everything easy and let's be able to inform our people instead of making it look like we are fighting war with Guinea, where NSA looking for reporters or making silencing people here and there. I don't think that's the right way to go. Thanks to all of you. We see you tomorrow.
Before you go, 1 minute. Before you go, if you think Joseph Baga went to Guinea and all scientific evidence prove that land belongs to Liberia, you don't think you have to announce it saying he came from Guinea?
But Mom, let me just tell you this historically. When the 1989 war started, there was a chief in Nimba they called Jerry Goyon. When Jerry Goyon blew the alarm on the invasion, what the Doe government did, they brought him down Monrovia to inquire for him to get some findings. They never accused that man of being a rebel or committing a crime. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, that's his procedure. The president knew that land belonged to Guinea. That's why he came and he became quiet.
Showing allegiance, showing loyalty to this nation, Liberia. Of Liberia, it's flying all the time.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Monitor people who waiting to sell. Blessing that time and that effort are rest. The brothers giving us here the parents of them. So welcome my life with African.
A lyrical health.
Master.
Les paris sous mes cailloux, à qui Sktv Benyo. C'est ma chenille, tina ke assez ma yamu. Engi sano muni, emuaye yo. Engi lopa mui, emuaye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
Ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Salia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Cote d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Salia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Cote d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Napagiyarina ya tumale, Sktv, ena Napagiyarina, Tosi Wakama ya tumale,
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lopa and grand bazaar.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Monitor people who waiting to sell. The flesh, that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the premise my best. The work with my life with us, yeah. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from River Sass, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombay, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Punk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.